Well, good morning everybody. Welcome to the Outdoor Dojang. I hope that you're still staying sane, alright? So look, let's start today's class. Alright, we're going to be looking at three things today. We're going to be looking at a block first, and the block that we will be studying together is the twin forearm block, or Sang Pulmak Maki. We first come across Sang Pulmak Maki, or twin forearm block, in the pattern Dangunto when you're a yellow belt. And it's an interesting one because we utilize two arms at the same time to do two simultaneous blocks. Now, for some people, this can be quite confusing when you're learning. So I thought this would be a good one today for us to have a look at. In the pattern, you do it in two different directions, to your left and to your right. But then people get confused often at gradings when they get caught up, and they're asked to do it multiple times in line work, and they often get their stance and the side that they put their arms on very mixed up. So let's see if we can help with that today and clear up a few difficulties for people. Alright, so let's get started. Twin forearm block. Let's show it to you first. So we often do twin forearm block in an L stance, as in Dangun. So let's think about our L stance first. So our L stance, remember, is 1.5 shoulder widths long, okay, and we measure it from our front toes, okay, to the back edge of our foot. My back foot has 70% of my weight on it, and my front leg has 30% of the weight on it. My back foot is turned in 15 degrees, and my front foot is also turned in towards the inside 15 degrees, and I center my center of gravity, or my mass, down through my belt. So we're sitting here. Here's the block. Okay, interesting one where we've got two blocks combined together. Okay, so if we look carefully, you may recognize these two blocks. We've got two blocks happening here. We've got the one that I'm looking at. So this one here, the one in front. The one that I'm looking at is called my primary block. This is an outer forearm middle side block. It's very similar to my outer forearm high block that we do in Dosan. So in Dosan, our green stripe pattern, we're in a walking stance and we do a high outer forearm block. In our twin forearm block, we're going to drop that and it becomes a middle, which means the top of the fist to the top of the shoulder. You might recognize the top hand. So this one is the primary. Let's put the top hand on. This block that we're not looking at is the secondary one. Primary, secondary, the one we don't look at. This one you might recognize, it's a forearm rising block. This is also found in Dangun. So if I go to a walking stance forearm rising block, you might notice, you might recognize this. Okay? So, two blocks put into one block. 1, 2, into 1. Okay? So, let's break it down. So, first of all, let's talk about this front arm. Okay? So, this front arm, outer forearm, middle side block, because I'm half facing, top of the fist, top of the shoulder, and the angle of the arm is about 45 degrees. If I come towards you and face your way, okay, the blocking tool, remember, which is the lower third of my lower arm, okay, the bottom half of my arm, so that lower third of my forearm on the outside, that tool needs to be in line with the center of my shoulder to make it correct. Okay. The next block, the one over your head, okay, is the rising block. Now, the rising block's an interesting one because there's a slight difference here. If I was towards you, or I turn myself to the side so you can see, your instructor may have told you that we are approximately 1 fist from your forehead to your forearm on your rising block. Once again, the tool is that lower 1/3 of the forearm. So the approximate measurement is actually 7 centimeters from your forearm to your forehead. Now, in a walking stance rising block, have a look at the part of my head I'm blocking. The forearm is blocking my forehead. But when I do my sang pumakmaki, there's a big difference. Now I'm looking straight ahead. So now I'm not blocking my forehead, now I'm blocking the side of my head. So make sure that when you do your sang pumakmaki and you do the rising block, the secondary block, that you don't curve the hand around the front of your head. It stays to the side of your head at 7 centimeters. Okay? All right, next thing, what about the crossing? There's an issue here because my outer forearm block is supposed to come from the inside. But the rising block is also from the inside, closest to your body. Think about the end of dangun when you do your forearm rising block and you do it chambered at your floating ribs on the inside. Okay? So we're here at our floating ribs on the inside, closest to the body. Okay? And when we do our outer forearm block, let's say at the end of dosan, for our high outer forearm block, it's the same. We chamber on the inside. Inside. But when we come to our sang pumakmaki, our twin forearm block, we have a problem. So, outer forearm, supposed to be from the inside. Rising block, supposed to be from the inside. They both can't be from the inside. One has to take preference. And the one that we choose is the one that is the primary block. And the primary block is the one that we're looking at. So the one that we look at is the outer forearm. So that guy takes preference, and that one comes from the inside. And we break the rule for the rising block in this case, and the rising block is allowed to come from the outside. We chamber the arms so they're both palms in towards me. And this allows both hands to rotate as we do the block. So that rotation, remember, that rotation is important because it means that we activate all the muscles of the arm and we're not stiff. We want everything in motion together at the same time. Okay, so let's do it together. Okay, so we're going to start as a spot exercise and we're going to stand in a parallel stance. Okay, parallel stance, parallel ready stance, junbi. And we're going to go from side to side. So I'm going to go to my right first, okay, and I cross and chamber my arms just lower than my shoulders and on the same side as the direction I'm going to move in. So if I'm moving to my right, I'm going to come this way and chamber in front of that right chest. Notice that the first thing that we do is we relax. So we relax, we take our supporting foot and we pivot 15 to get ready for the L stance. And we relax and our arms are in a relaxed position and my foot is pivoted 15 degrees. I start to rise up in my sine wave, and as I do that, my hands will come to the chamber position. And then as I come down, I'm going to jerk my hip as I fall and get both arms in time with each block with my breath in the land of my feet. And we step up and we'll do the other side. 2, sit. Okay, follow along with me. Tas. Yes. Higo. Yeru. Hop. Yo. Good. Okay, so there's your twin forearm block or sang pumakmaki. Now, it's time for you to go and find a little bit of space and to have a little bit of a practice. Understood? So what I want you to do is go to that mirror in your room or hallway again and do 10 on each side and be harsh on yourself about all the positions. Check the position of your top arm, your secondary block. Is it that 7 centimeters away? Is that 1/3 over the side of your head? Okay. check your primary block. Okay, is the fist in the same height as your shoulder for middle? Okay, have you got a 45-degree bend? And is the tool in line with the center of your shoulder? Are you getting the timing right? Both arms stop with your little hip jerk at the end to activate your core with the landing of your foot and your breath. It's everything at the same time. So this is the key when we're learning, is to get that coordination, hand, breath, and foot, so we're always at the same time. And this is the trick. The more you practice this, the better you'll be as we go up the ranks. Okay, so get it right now, so later on it's much easier. Okay, practice makes perfect. Your turn. Find that mirror. 3, 2, 1. Okay folks, our next technique for today is going to be a strike. So we've done a block and now a strike. So now we're going to do a knife hand high inward strike. So the knife hand high inward strike we first come across in the pattern 1-year tool. So we're just going up a couple of ranks. Okay, so but everyone can try, because the sooner you learn, the more practice you have. It's not unfamiliar when you get there. So this is the technique. Okay, so most commonly done in an L stance, but can be done in other other techniques, other stances as well. Can be done in a walking stance as well, and it can be applied in most stances, but most commonly, like I said, L stance. So this is the technique. Okay, so the knife hand high inward strike, instead of going an outwards motion like we do for our knife hand outward or our knife hand side strike, this is outwards. This time our hand's going to go inwards. So it's an inwards motion instead. Okay, so let's do the technique and we'll demonstrate from a couple of angles so you can see. Okay, so what's interesting about this one, first of all, is if we put the hand up, the hand is coming across the body, and if I come towards you, okay, so you're in this direction, you'll notice that the other hand is not in its normal place. So this time we take this opposite hand, and the opposite hand is up right near the shoulder. Okay, so it's right up on that shoulder joint. Okay, not on the chest, but up on the shoulder. And you'll notice as well, okay, that it's not touching. So we're about 2 centimeters off the shoulder, okay, on the non-striking hand. The hand that is striking, okay, is a knife hand. So remember, with your knife hand again, we need to do something with those fingers there. We don't want the fingers all stuck up like that. We want to take that top finger, we want to bend the fingers a little bit so they're more flat across the top. And remember, we want to tuck the thumb to the side, okay, and pull that thumb. There's a gap where we can just stick our finger in between the thumb, okay, and our palm, so we don't want it touching. That's our knife hand position. Using our songkel, our knife hand, our side of our hand again, is the striking tool. And for high, it means fingertips, eye level. Now, how far do I move my hand? Where does my hand stop? Okay, for any type of inward block, okay, or inward strike, we want it to stop that tool on our chest line. So regardless, even if I was doing this as in a walking stance position, it would still stop on my chest line. In L stance, it still must stop on my chest line. And my opponent is to what we call the side front. Okay, so front, side, side front. Okay, fingertips, eye height. Opposite hand, up here, just off the shoulder. Okay, so interesting one, because the striking area, okay, is here for the side of the throat. Okay, and so it's for like a reflection of myself. Other side. Okay, so once again, tool, chest line, not solar plexus, chest line. Top of the tool, eyes. Okay, bend about 45 degrees, offhand, just off the shoulder. If we do this as a spot exercise, okay, we have to make sure that we relax both hands, and both hands come facing outwards, no higher than my shoulder, and then both those hands will rotate in. And I rotate my forearms, especially to ensure that the tool rotates to the target. So let's try that. So I'm going to step forwards in a right L stance first. So I'm stepping with my left leg towards you. Okay, and once again, we relax the body by going down slightly. So we go down, our arms are relaxed. My foot has started to pivot, so that my foot's now in that 15 degrees of my back leg for my L stance. My hands are slightly relaxed. I've just bent my knees slightly using my knee spring. My hands have not chambered yet. I start to rise up in my sine wave, okay, and my hands come slightly apart, not past my shoulders or past the side of my head, and not too high. So I'm just here nicely as I start to rise up, and then as I fall, I'm going to come down and sharply rotate both those forearms. One rotates the tool, the other one rotates to my shoulder, and we come up and we fall, and we stop that tool, eye height and chest line, other hand 2 centimeters, and we come up to here and we try the other side, hop, and we try again, hop, and we look to the side front as well, and we're looking at the opponent. Okay, so let's try that together as a spot exercise. So from parallel stance, we're going to step forward and back. Okay, so forward as we do the attack, and then back up to reset. Ready, hit up. 2. Set. Net. Toss. Yes. Here you go. Yaru. Hop. Yo. So, let's just recap a little bit. Okay. Did you get all the positions? Top of the fingers, eye height. Tool, chest. Opposite hand, up on the shoulder, about 2 centimeters off, not touching. Okay? All right, same as before. What we're needing from you, okay, is in front of that mirror, be a harsh critic, look at the alignment of your body, see how you move from side to side, get the position and the heights correct, the alignment with your body correct. Be harsh, okay, as you practice 10 times on each side, okay, change the angle a little bit as you go, just to see how your body is performing and how you're lined up. Okay, so it's your turn now. Are you ready? Time to hit pause. 3, 2, 1, pause. Okay, our last one for today. So we're going to end with a kicking technique, and we're going to end with a more difficult one. We're going to do Bandai Dolyo Chagi today, which is our reverse turning kick. Now, our reverse turning kick, we often most see it done by people in a spinning motion. It can also be done just from a standing motion as well, facing the person from a parallel stance. Now, I've changed the angle a little bit, just to get an idea here of where we're supposed to be. Okay, so there's a huge mistake mostly with Bandai Dolyo Chagi or reverse turning kick, because people stand directly in front of the opponent, but it's not done like that. If this is my opponent here, for reverse turning kick, I get maximum power when the person is to the side rear. So I'm not standing with my directly behind the opponent, okay? I'm standing to the side, so side rear. So this would be my rear, this is my side rear. If I was facing the opponent, I would start with the opponent to my side front. So I wouldn't be in front of the opponent, that would mean I'd spin 180 degrees. Instead, I want to be to the side front, so I'm here. So if I execute this technique from L stance forearm guarding block, I turn my back, and now the opponent is at my side rear, not at 180. Because I want to strike that person, okay, at around about that 45 degrees, and that's when I have maximum power. It's much harder for me to get that maximum amount of power, okay, if I stand directly in front of them or directly with my back to them. So I want that 45 degrees. So I either start at side, so there's side rear, or I start with them at side front. That's the first part. Okay. Our reverse turning kick or bandai dolia chagi, I use my back heel. So my back heel is the tool. So we're here. Not the edge of your heel, but the back heel. Okay. My reverse turning kick can be done at 3 heights. Okay, so I can do my reverse turning kick at high, middle, or low. Okay, so high, remember, is my head height. So it would be here. Okay, my head height. Okay, middle is to my solar plexus level. Okay, and then low is at my umbilicus level. So we're here. Okay. When we do these techniques, there's kind of 2 parts to the reverse turning kick. Okay, the first bit is the spin on the ball of my foot. Okay, and the second part is the pull of my leg through the target. So it's important that we focus on going onto that ball of the foot. So if I'm in a rear foot stance, apologies, in an L stance, if I'm in my L stance here, okay, I want to bring my weight forward slightly. So I'm here, and when I come to spin, I want to bring my weight onto the ball of my front foot. So we're here, and my foot does a little pivot. Okay, I'll just move back a little bit so you can see a bit more. So we're here, and my front foot, my weight goes onto my front foot and onto that ball of that foot. Okay, so we're here, onto the ball of that foot, and so now I become rear facing to the opponent. Okay, and I've now pivoted so my whole body is turned around. My target will be at that side rear now, and I lift using my hip flexors, okay, and my adductors. I lift here and I come round, and when I strike that opponent, I want to strike that opponent so that my back heel strikes them perpendicular. Okay, so I don't want to come up on an angle ever, and I don't want to be dropping down. I want the foot to come across, boom, so that I hit the target perpendicular to my opponent. So wherever I strike the opponent with my bandai dolia chagi, we're trying to get that perpendicular strike so I get the best transfer of energy into the target. Okay, what about the second part of the kick? So I said that the pivot's important. So we're here and we take the body and we push some weight onto that front foot and we pivot onto the ball of that front foot. So we're spinning on the ball of that front foot to get ourselves rear to the opponent, and they are now at that side rear, which is good. But what about pulling the leg through? Okay, it's not just about the spin and throwing your leg. I like to think of a pick shake kick or downward kick where you've got this type of motion where you pull your leg through the opponent. We pull down and through. Okay, so if we're doing a downward kick, it's the same. We pull down and through. Or pick shake kick, we reach and we pull down and through. It's the same. So that pulling motion, let's get that pulling motion side on. So now we're pulling through the opponent with the spin. So we don't just have spinning motion, but we have that pull through. It's important that we get used to that feeling. So if we use a bit of support, okay, we can practice pulling through. So we can stand here with our left foot facing the wall or a bag, and we can lift our leg, and we can just practice this back and forth pulling through the opponent and getting used to this feeling of pulling through. Now we don't have to go too far behind, because remember we only want to go to this to the side rear or side front. Okay, so we're here pulling through. Okay, and you can practice it this way as well, just feeling the motion, okay, of pulling through. So let's give the kick a try. If you haven't got a bag at home, maybe you've got a focus mitt that someone in your family could hold. Okay, or you can just practice it just in the air. Okay, but just be careful that you keep your balance and you've got some good, nice flat surface. Okay, so let's practice on the bag. Apologies, I'm turning my back to you. Okay, so we're here. Remember, side front. Okay, for the target, not directly in front of you. but to the side front. And so we're standing here, we take some weight, okay, onto that front foot, and we pivot on the ball of the front foot so that we get this nice spin and rotation. The opponent now is at my side rear, and we're starting to spin round, and we lift that leg up. We're pulling the toes. This foot shape is very similar to a normal turning kick, and we're coming through and we're striking with our heel with the opponent at the side rear like so. Okay, my hands are up in a loose guarding block, not too tight, just relaxed. I can also use my arms to help throw my body as I turn around. You get a lot more spin and a lot more rotation. Let's go now with a single count. Hana. Okay. And as we come round, you'll notice that I pull through as well, and we're hitting with my back heel. Sit. Net. Toss. Yes. You'll also notice that as I'm doing the kick, I'm slightly leaning. Okay, so as I'm coming around, I'm not staying completely upright. I come and I have a slight lean in my body, okay, as we do the kick. We want to make sure though that we don't lean over too much. Okay, it's not like in other martial arts styles where sometimes they spin and they touch the floor. We want to try to keep our body up as much as we can so we're in control. So let's just do a couple more. So we're here. Okay, so that's our reverse turning kick. So not exactly the easiest one to end with today for everybody, but we can all practice, and you can practice at different heights. So you don't have to start high. You can practice at different heights. So remember, high is above your shoulders, middle, okay, shoulder height, okay, and low at your umbilicus. The target on a person is varied. There's lots of vital spots for this guy. You can understand how devastating it might be, but the spot that you're hitting, the vital spot, will depend where you're standing. Because remember, you want the tool, which is the back heel, to hit perpendicular. So if you wanted to hit someone in their chest, like straight on, you couldn't be in front of them, could you? Even, you have to be quite to the side. So for example, if the person was facing this way, and I wanted to strike them here, I'm going to be over even more, okay? So if I want to hit them in the chest, I may do something like this, whereas I might start here, but I'll take a step to the side, okay? Right, so I take a step to the side, so now when I spin, I hit them where I want to hit them, okay? So I do the reverse turning kick with a step. Okay, so I hit them in the place that I want to strike. Okay, could be the front of the face, so we go for the philtrum. Okay, the mouth, okay, the point of the chin, the throat. We could go for the side of the head, temples. Okay, so we've got the chest, solar plexus area, rib cage. Okay, lots of targets, even the rear. Okay, so talking about your kidneys at the back. Okay, also as well. Okay, of course, not legitimate targets. Okay, in tournaments, but definitely a legitimate target in self-defense. Remember as well that the back heel is what we use in self-defense usually. In sparring, you might point your foot. So you see a lot of people do like a reverse turning kick with their foot pointed in sparring. This is like more like a slap, and this allows more reach as well. So we can slap the bag like that. Okay. Okay, and what we're doing there is getting more reach. So it's that slap instead. Okay. So your turn. Find a spot. Maybe practice the pivot, practice the drop. Okay, the pull through. See if you can add the two things together. Okay, and just break it up. Be kind on yourself. So try it in a L stance forearm guarding block. Okay, remember you're kicking to the 45. All right, so out here, not in front of you. So we're here, and that makes it a bit easier. So we're here, put some weight onto the front foot, pivot on the ball of the foot, turn your body around, look over your shoulder, still be bent in both knees, okay? Now your supporting foot should be pointing this way. Look over your shoulder, start to lift your leg, and you want your leg to come up to be at the full height before it reaches the 45, okay? And then just strike, okay, with your back heel at the 45, come through and gain your balance, okay? Cool? All right, so Bande Dorio Chagi, reverse turning kick. Cool looking kick, one that does take a bit of practice though, so maybe use this time in lockdown to practice that. Hey, it's been wonderful being with you again today. Enjoy practicing your techniques, and for the Black Stripes at Dragon Spirit and from the other people around the rest of the country who are joining in, I'll see you this evening for our online Zoom class at 6:30. Okay, catch you soon. See you everybody. Did it? Train hard.